Well, Governor, you've traveled to Oklahoma, and you know that Oklahoma is a leader in energy, from oil and gas to coal to wind. So when energy CEOs tell me that your EPA or your EPA administrator may not be much different than the president's now, what do you say to that?
Well, they don't know what I would do if I were the President of the United States. You know, one of my good friends is Mike Leavitt, who was the EPA administrator under George W. Bush. And I've asked some of the oil and gas company executives, what was it like under Mike Leavitt? And they said it was a whole lot better than it is today. I think the EPA has gotten completely out of control for a very simple reason. It is a tool in the hands of the president to crush the private enterprise system, to crush our ability to have energy, whether it's oil, gas, coal, nuclear. There's a real effort on the part of some in the president's party that don't like the American enterprise system and are trying to find a way to do everything they can to impede the growth of our economy and our energy independence. And I look at the effort on the EPA, for instance, to step in the way of fracking and to eliminate the potential in some states to have our access to natural gas and to oil, and say, look, this is all an effort to say, let's just go solar and wind, and let's raise the cost of energy dramatically. That's, in my view, it's just entirely opposite of the view that we need to have a federal government that sees its job as helping the private sector grow and thrive and add jobs.
Well, Governor, you mentioned hydraulic fracturing.
Yeah.
And you know that that's revolutionized the natural gas industry as far as extracting natural gas. The states have primacy in that area right now from a regulation standpoint. The current EPA administrator is marching toward having the federal government oversee hydraulic fracturing. Yeah, would you put a stop to that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I think the EPA and those extreme voices in the environmental community and in the president's own party are just frustrated beyond belief that the states have the regulatory authority over fracking. And right now, I guess something close to 70% of the oil wells in this country have been fracked. So the states have been managing this, managed it well. But the EPA wants to be able to get in and grab more power and basically try and move the whole economy away from oil, gas, coal, nuclear, and push it into the renewables. Look, we all like the renewables, but renewables alone are not going to power this economy. And yeah, I would, among other things, I would get the EPA out of its effort to manage carbon dioxide emissions from automobiles and trucks. Look, that was not a pollutant within the meaning of the legislation that authorized the EPA. It is, of all the agencies in Washington, it is the one most being used by this president to try and hold down, crush, and insert the federal government into the life of the private sector.